Moving on to Malu, you and William, if there is uh, something you would want to share, that while you're going through, if somebody's going through this, what is the resource or the support system you found very helpful in your journey?
Mm.
Your this whole process, what you felt ki, this is very important and you should remember this and you should not forget. Is there anything like that you want to bring to our notice?
Yeah, I think it's very important, just like Mr. Ganu said, that I think 50% of the battle is in your mind, and you really have to make sure that it's in the right frame, because I think the medicines and resources also, they're very, very helpful, but that's actually half of the battle. So I would say, for me, what worked for me is, first, well, with William on my side, basically is telling me to actually, okay, let's do a plan for healing and recovery. So even, and please don't get me wrong, I had a lot of moments where I kind of cried. I had fears. I had doubts. Will I see my children grow into, men? And then I was bargaining also. Yeah. I actually came to a point where say, I just want 5 more years or this and that. I want to see my kids graduate, from college or university. So there's a lot of those moments that are going to come in and out as a cancer patient, and even as a cancer survivor now. I mean, I still have those fears, but I think, this, Shipra, we went through a lot of, in the company, we went through a lot of trainings where it actually kind of like strengthen your mindset, your attitude, and I think it helped also a lot. That is the first thing. The second thing, of course, is do not be afraid to ask for help, because I think a lot of people, and I said this because I have a support group. Yeah, I have a breast cancer support group, and I think one of the things that was highlighted is, in the beginning, everybody or a lot of people were afraid to actually ask for help. I was not afraid to ask for help, even though I know that I was very strong. But just like you said, I mean, you really have to ask for help if you need help. You have to welcome all the emotions that you will feel about it, welcome and accept, and then pull up your socks and actually just, I can do this kind of attitude. And then it also helped that, again, I have a support group online as well, and I read only success stories,
Yes.
success stories of breast cancer. Because if I look into the internet, and then the mortality rate, this and that, my stage 2B going to stage 4, there were a lot of stories like that. And I stopped reading that, and I only focus on the people who actually have healed and recovered. And I think it helped as well. And in Hong Kong, and I'm just very blessed, because we were in Hong Kong, where a lot of resources are available. There's a lot of foundation here that helps out, and the government gives free treatment. So my chemotherapy, my radiation therapy, uh, were actually free from the government. So you just have to pay a very minimal amount. But of course, the surgery, everything we went private, so we had to pay that. But the government here, the health, benefits as a resident here are actually good. So that's actually one major resource. And then there's also this, it's called Maggi Caring Center, and I was very inspired by this, because this is a place that we could all go to after chemotherapy, or even after, if you want to just need some people to talk to, psychiatrist, psychologist, therapist, and everything. And I always go to this place after my chemotherapy, because it's besides the hospital, and it's a very resort type welcoming place where you could actually just listen to music, read books, talk to the psychiatrist. And I just really want to say this, because even though my husband has fully supported me, we're very close. There are things that a breast cancer or a cancer survivor, for that matter, will probably not be able to tell to family members, like death, like what if these are a lot of things. And I found that place. I talked to the psychologist. There's also spiritual advisor. So that place kind of like also helped me a lot, and in fact inspired me a lot, that I really want to have some kind support place like that, because I think it's very important for a breast cancer or cervical or any cancer for that matter to actually have a place where you are with people that actually experience the same way that you've experienced, and that could you they could relate to you. You
Yes.
know, they could relate, and that's very very important. You have to read, I would say you have to know your disease, you have to know your enemy, right? I had to change a lot of things from my diet, from not really working out or exercising, to just really forcing myself to do all of this. And because I educated myself, William also pushed me to do this. So those are a lot of things that you need to do. And it's not just one thing. You survive 5 years or something. It's actually a regular process that you really need to do. And yeah, so that's probably for me, that's what I did. But overall 50% of that is, once you decided that, okay, I have this, I could beat this, I could do this, I want to focus on my healing and recovery, I think your body will follow the mind. I think very very important.
No, I totally agree. I have this, my girl group, and my girls, and the best thing I think I have today, I would say, is that openness. We can talk, like me, Kavita, Sharfun, have this understanding that we talk, we discuss, we don't take anything for granted. Today, looking at the things in the environment, even a smallest health thing which we feel, we discuss with each other. Should we go to a doctor? Should we talk? And instantly, it's a after Omita suffered, this thing. We
Mm,
have made this a pact between all of us that if we have anything, we will push each other to go for medical advice and not sit and discuss and be that women, who are just talking about each other. So support group, also being educated and
yeah.
also being aware and also being supportive is really important. I feel this is one of the key strength. Apart from family, your group has to be very aware to push you to go through the right path for your journey, that way. So that's on that note, Dr. Narayan, one very good and very important question. uh, See, we talk about people who have gone through cancer or being a survivor or how the journey has been, and it's very emotional, but at the same time you feel proud to hear these stories because they fought. And every time I talk, I think most of the people I've spoken, they've always said one thing common, that they were mentally strong. Yes, there were moments where they broke, and which is natural. We are humans. We cannot be 100% strong and do it. You will have those moments, like you said, Malu, breaking up. But at the same time, is there anything which you can do in terms of to reduce the risk of these cervical or breast cancer? Is there anything called preventive apart from screening, or what would you advise for today's generation, male and female both, to do on a regular basis so that we can avoid the extremities of these illness?
See, when we talk of chronic diseases, like these are non-communicable diseases, what we say, even if we directly say that cancer, so in terms of cervical cancer, is a transmitter. You need to have a SPV, human papilloma virus infection. However, there are certain modifiable risk factors and non-modifiable risk factors that we see. Especially when we talk of modifiable risk factors, it's like Mrs. Malou has already stressed that yes, it's quite distressing in initial to begin with, but once you have a strong willpower, and by the blessing of the science and with the new chemotherapies and new treating technologies, we are on the progress now, I would say. So what I preferably think is with the new environment, like you talked already. So there are certain like modifications what we could do, like living a healthy lifestyle, the dietary modification like so avoiding junk foods and exposures. These are the things I think one we can do. The next thing is being quite attentive to the problem what you are facing in your daily life. Like once you have a new symptom, something that is not unusual, usual for you, I think early getting a early consultation to your healthcare worker. Not necessarily you need to have a cancer specialist at every point, but you can access to have a gynecologist or a general physician. That is one something very important for you to get to access to a healthcare. The next thing is like those modifications like smoking, high risk behaviors in terms of cervical cancer, and even what we say is like Mrs. Malu said that she detected herself with the lung. But this may not apply to all the females, because it's equally important for a female to know that, or a woman to know that she should be empowered to know what her body is all about. So it's
Agree.
equally important. We should educate, and I think education is the only way we can prevent. There are the other things that will come along with the time, but education is something empowerment we can always do to the women to get a regular breast examination on your own. And screening is something like we'll be talking on later on, that these are the signs like HPV vaccination and other screening protocols for breast cancer, I think.
Yes. Thank you so much. I mean, that's really, most of the time when I talk practical aspects to doctors, they always say, talk about it, discuss about
Yeah.
it. Feel free to come to
Mhm.
doctor and get a scanning done, get a
Yeah.
checkup. It's not a big deal. Every year, once every woman or a man should go for a full body checkup if you want to avoid. If there is something and it can be treated at the early stage. And if I'm correct to say, breast cancer and cervical cancer, if deducted at an early stage, is very treatable.
Yeah, it's curable, I would say.
Yes.
Rather, treated, yes. Until the even to stage 4B also we treat, but it's something we say in cancer curable, wherein a patient is disease-free for almost 5 years. There is no recurrence of the disease. That's what when we label a patient as a cured. And that's with the blessing of the modern science. If detected very early, yes, definitely we can cure a patient and patient can live.
I mean I mean, I would stick to that word curable because that's something
Actually,
so positive.
Shipra, may I also add, you have to, one thing really I've really learned about this whole process, cancer journey, is listen to your body.
Yeah.
Yes.
A
Yeah.
headache, a pain, you cannot ignore it, especially where when if we're at age of like we're not 20s, or we're in our 40s or 30s, or even we are we're also educating our boys, obviously. But yes, we have to listen to our body, and we cannot ignore things, like a minor headache, but it's been there for a few days. I think that's actually a symptom that our body is trying to tell us something.
Yes, I totally agree. I mean, having an autoimmune thyroidism, which is treated as a very normal cold and cough today, I know what I go through. My mood swings, I cannot even explain. It's nothing treated to that. But there was a long time I used to think, why am I having this? And then I was educated that even this impacts. So everything around me, it changes based on my periods, based on my mood, based on everything. And now I do a lot of meditation in order to work on my health. That, like I just told you in the morning, I did my finish my gym and I came here. So 40 years of my life, I really took my body to be completely for granted. And now from last 1 year, I am eating healthy. I'm conscious about what I eat. And if not required, I will not eat, but I will not do unhealthy eating. I will work out. So these are the smallest changes which can bring major lifestyle positive things towards your body. So,
Mm.
I mean, and lastly, Ankita, you are on the ground and we just finished one camp and you meet a lot of females on the ground. I would want if you can put in a summary that what are their experiences and emotions when they come for the screening, and what happens there, because I want people to understand the reason why we are doing all of it is end of the day to get as many women examined and help them to educate about it. So what is your experience into it?
Thank you, Dee. So last time we did a free breast cancer and cervical cancer screening camp at Budanil Secondary School. So and coincidentally that day it was raining throughout the day. So first of all, we were very worried that the camp is going to be a failure because we didn't expect people to come at all. But actually we got even more people this time, so 130 participants were there and they got screened, and out of all of them, for breast cancer everyone was clear. And we had around 5 people who had a little bit of bacterial vaginosis. I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. So they were prescribed some medicines, and for 5 cases there were a little bit abnormalities seen. So they were further they went for counseling to the doctors. So during that camp, what I realized was so many people, they are still unaware, first of all, and we actually had to call a lot of people, and we actually pushed them to come, because a lot of people, they were hesitating a lot. And we said this is a very golden opportunity, and we are providing this screening for free. And we convinced them to come. And first of all, there was this they were unaware. Secondly, the hesitation. And there's a sense of I think embarrassment also.
Yes.
Right. So yeah. So and it was really difficult for us to convince them to open up, right? So we started with the awareness session, where not only the doctors but even the cancer survivors, like our Gyanuji was there. So when they talked to the participants, after that only they got a little bit opened up. They understood that cancer is not a sentence in itself, so it is curable, it is treatable. So after that they got the confidence, and then they went for screening. So I think we import a lot of them, because they personally they came and talked to me, and they said that, okay, we are going to listen to our bodies. Like Malou ma'am was saying, that we are going to listen to our bodies. We are going to uh, put our health as a priority, because if we are healthy, then only we can take care of our family. All the time, women, especially in our culture, so women are conditioned to put themselves at the last. Always the family comes first, right? So, but they realize that if we are unwell, the entire family has to suffer, because like it or not, women are the foundation, the binding agent of the family. So if women are not taking care of themselves, they cannot take care of the family. So that was the key takeaway. And hopefully we have made a change in their mindset, that they have to look after themselves. So I think it was a very big success. And yes, I'm also looking forward to our next screening camp, hopefully this October. We're already planning for it. So yes,
Yeah. Thank you so much, Ankita. And in fact, thank you to everybody. Thank you, Malu and William. And thank you, Dr. Narayan. I think the whole idea and the concept of doing this is we can put on YouTube, we will circulate it to our friends and relatives. And maybe it's not a very big number, but I feel even through these camps, if we are able to educate till now, I think 200 to 300 women, I have done my part of thing. And if all of us start doing 200, 300, there would be a day when, hopefully the world will be free of breast cancer and cervical cancer, because everybody would be knowing what to do even in the early stages. And as Dr. Narayan said, it's curable. So we will not have to hear any bad news about anybody or any family suffering because of this. So thank you so much for your awareness. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate from all my heart. And the whole idea of One Purpose is to educate and to help. We are still a very beginner. We are still a foundation which is working on very basics. But I feel if the basics are right, the life and everything would be, future will be good. And hopefully we will be empowered enough to help a lot of more people in the future through the help of you guys. So thank you so much. I really, 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 appreciate from all my heart. Thank you for your time, and thank you for your moments, and thank you for sharing with us. Thank you so much.
Everyone. Thank you,
thank
Shipra.
you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Take care.